And in 1927-28, Rotorcraft came to the United States with the Pitcairn family. Harold Pitcairn started over in Willow Grove building the Pitcairn Autogyro Company. They were looking for a way to make aviation safer. During the post-World War I period, a lot of pilots were crashing, and aviation safety was a real problem. They were looking for ways to get shorter landing space and shorter takeoff for the unimproved fields that many of the pilots were operating out of. They realized that if you get a rotary wing blade going around, they could keep its forward airspeed through the wind while the actual aircraft was moving very slowly. Autogyros have an ability to take off in a short space, wind going up through the rotor, push down the runway, and they get the airborne ability once the rotors come up to speed. They fly in a way that's similar to a fixed wing in many ways, and they also have the advantage to the rotor traffic.
Not a helicopter.
It's an Autogyro.
It's an Autogyro, exactly.
Everybody should realize the basic difference here is these Autogyros do not have any power to that rotor. There's nothing that's causing them to spin around except for the forward motion and the air blowing through the rotor.
What speeds do these birds
They can fly at around 12 miles per hour up to 100 some miles per hour. If you love flying, it's a great way to go. You're way out there, the wind blowing in your face, and it's a great way to see the world.
You're sitting there above nothing.
These kits you can start getting them for around $10,000 and build them home, get them inspected. You'll definitely want to get some flight training before you ever consider going up for these things. With flight training, you can have a good, safe, and exciting unmanned location out west to use for ranches, control fences, and birds to get harmless and safety without much to run on.
I think I made the suggestion yesterday that state police could control the turnpike in one of these because they could check speeders and get up to them and land and stop them on their spot.
So state police be aware of these Autogyros out there.
Rotorcraft magazine, those places are a good source to take a look at what's out there. We've got Air Command's Autogyro Museum.
The lady who lost her keys to her car, if she comes to the announcers tent over here, we have them here. Lady who lost her keys to her car, we have them here at the announcers stand. Locked her keys in the car, okay. Come over here, we'll take care of you.
On most of these Autogyros, if they have a few extra things put on after the basic model, will have a free spinner that basically puts a little bit of the energy of the engine to getting the rotors up to speed prior to the takeoff period. Once they have the takeoff period, they disengage clutch and use the power. You get more instrumentation outcomes and different airspeed indicators and radios as you like.
Now these Autogyros cannot do a straight vertical takeoff and landing, can they?
No, they've got to have basically forward speed. If the waves are strong wind, they can take off a very short distance and land. can't can actually go backwards or go against opposite wind.
Or to the left or the right.
They've got to keep some forward airspeed and keep it controlled. That's why they're a bit more like an airplane. During the 30s, the Autogyros delivered mail in Philadelphia. From the top of the post office building in Philadelphia across the river to Camden, showing the ability to take off in a short space. If you're ever down 30th Street train station in Philadelphia, and you look across at the old U.S. post office building, look up there, you can see the area, the flat roof. Well, they took all their gyros off of mail and delivered them across the river back in the 30s. But later on, as World War II approached, the Army was looking for the ability to lift things vertically and do things that Autogyro could not do. And Colonel Frank Gregory worked with Sikorsky and others to develop the Army's requirements for powered rotors and helicopters.
I believe it was in 1944 when helicopters made their first landing and takeoff from aboard a freighter in the Atlantic Ocean. Is that correct? You know, Paul? Remember that? 1944 wasn't the they made a landing on a freighter out there in the Atlantic Ocean. 1944 when the first helicopter was being used for any kind of activity at all.
Yep, and we had one of our museum members, Stu Graham, Coast Guard pilot number 2, was down here for Rotorfest 2 years ago for our Pathways of the Pioneers Rotorfest. And he was talking about flying off the Liberty ships as they crossed the Atlantic.
Yeah, exactly.
And he actually did the first anti-submarine warfare in R4, Sikorsky R4.
In my search and research work on 261 and Mid-Atlantic Air Museum, I came across film of an actual filming of an actual landing of a very square-shaped helicopter landing on one of these little ships.
In our archives, if you're a student of the subject, you can contact Jim Lear and the museum's archive department, and we will try to help you out with your research for different subjects. And we're always collecting helicopter material and photographs and stories. We can collect oral histories. If you contact the archives and let them know that you've been there and done that and would like to share a story, we would love to preserve rotary wing history. We are the only museum in this country dedicated to the preservation of the history of the development of this industry.
This year's show is dedicated to the Autogyro as the forerunner of the helicopter. And George Lenhart.
Thanks so much, guys. It's a good show.
They will be also doing a demonstration later on this afternoon. So I believe this is George Lenhart in his Autogyro. He's going to do a couple of special things here.
You'll notice there's no tail rotor on these Autogyros. They have a rudder which helps them to be optical, but there is no torque since the rotor is not powered.
I want to get some more information on the Autogyro at the Rotary Airport. They're located in Canada, but you can talk to Jim Logan over at the Autogyros. He's one of the sales representatives for the Rotary Air Force Marketing Incorporated, and he's got a pamphlet. And maybe you can build or resolve an Autogyro and come out here next year as a volunteer to demonstrate. That's the Rotary Ring Airport.
Yeah. And they have 2 people in.
And we'll be organizations that specialize in many of these areas. So check out helicoptermuseum.org to find out about the Rotary Ring.
Incidentally, in the museum in our fixed display, our static display is Autogyro. What's all about that, Paul?
That's the 59 GCA 1A. That is the oldest surviving It's American-built Autogyro, and it is the first of the Pitcairn line. Unique in its tail design, that the tail elevator we use as a flex to drop off and release pellets to go up into the rotors and try to freeze thin the rotors. That was not all that effective. It took them quite a while to get the rotors up to flight speed. And so in the next version of PCA 2, which Steve Pitcairn, who was here yesterday, brought in this champion, PCA 2, they used a transmission clutch off the engine to drive the rotors up to speed. And that proved to be quite successful, and the Autogyros kept that feature throughout the rest of the design period throughout the 30s and 40s.
Now, if you're with the museum and you come in the main entrance of the museum, you would see the Pitcairn Autogyro there. And again, it was in 1931 that was built and flown, and we followed up the path that is led by the building. They will take you from the Pitcairn Autogyro right on down and right out the door to one of the latest things. That's the B-22 Osprey, which is sitting out here right next to it. And you'll go through the entire history of the helicopter industry and the helicopter world.
It's one of those great features of the Southern Motor out of the
We've always gone back on the fact that we have a B-22, which is a fixed-wing aircraft that will fly forward at about 320 miles an hour.
About 100 or so of the airplanes, and I'm again looking at it. It's great capabilities, but it's